one, fight!
Hey guys, we're going against Vicious Ferra here. I don't know a ton about Ferra in general because no one really plays her in tournaments other than Gur from Next Level Battle Circuit, which is now done, so as far as I know, it's done, so even that that one Ferra that existed, Gur, G-R-R, a wonderful name. He's hard to watch now because there's no tournament for him to play consistently. I think Ferra is a pretty good character, but the Yomi guys don't really think so there hasn't been a ton of popularity on his end. However, I do feel like Kitana is pretty strong against Ferra and that Ferra is weak to zoning.
Fatality.
So that can be a problem because he could just get counterpicked if you were really consistent with Ferra. But he does have good damage, easy combos, an X-ray that's probably the best X-ray in the game. And he's just a pretty good character. In this variation he has the boss toss, which I think is an overhead full screen projectile. Does have a cooldown on it, but it's pretty good. And he has the sweeping under one, so even at full screen he has 50-50, so true to Netherrealm form, he's got that stuff going on for him. I'm not sure if the charge is unique to this variation, I don't think so, but that was what he just used there and that was unsafe. But the charge is pretty good, it eats one projectile. But if you're just spamming at full range, especially with someone like Jackie Briggs, then he still can't get through that with the charge, so.
Round one.
It's quite a struggle against zoners with Ferra. Against normal characters, it's not really that big of a deal, I don't think. And a lot of people think that Ferra is pretty good, but it just hasn't really happened yet. He's certainly, or he, she, the combination of the two are certainly interesting characters. And I guess in the absence of Bane, this is our Bane replacement. That was a really weird shuffle that he was doing there. Got it? Okay. Beat him out. Oh, that was a close one. His uppercut moves a little bit forward, so it's got a bit more range than your standard uppercut. And at least one of the variations also has like a pseudo dragon punch, which is extremely good when you meter burn it. But because you can juggle and get like 40% off or whatever, maybe 35%. Much like Goro, Ferra has a weird hitbox, so you'll find some combos don't work on him and other combos that don't work on anybody else do. So that can be very frustrating, especially if you're playing Dragon Agonata Tanya, but it's not too big of a deal in my opinion. I think we'll do one or two more. Sorry if my yawning just picked up weirdly by his neck. I have been awake for a little while. Been watching Summer Jam, and that's going on tonight. We had all the top 8s and stuff yesterday in a update that will live in infamy for Perfect Legend fans. He lost 13-0 in a first to 10 to Sonic Fox, so that was really incredible. So we just look up Perfect Legend on Twitter. I'm sure you see some really funny stuff. He's just a guy, like he was, no doubt he's maybe the best MK9 player of all time, but he's not that great at MKX. He's probably like a top 50 player peripherally, but he just doesn't know when to shut up, so he says all sorts of dumb things every time he screws up, and that just makes it funnier. So Losing 13-0, pretty impressive. And I don't think anyone thought he was gonna win, but maybe put up a decent showing or something. Get some mild dignity out of it, but nope, just total disaster here. It was a very, very fun thing to watch, especially, it was the first time I heard Yipes on Mortal Kombat commentary, and he's probably the best commentator in general. He just only commentates Marvel. It's fun to listen to him talk shit, basically. He like walked off when they were halfway through the 10th game. It's like, alright, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching this massacre or something. And that's just wonderful Yipes. First class commentary. But I highly recommend checking that out whenever it goes on YouTube or just looking at the Twitch archive. I'm pretty sure it was on Team Spooky. Spooky is spelled with 2 zeros, but otherwise normally spelled.
Round 1, fight.
And that is some comedic gold. I guess I'll link to it eventually in this video instead of talking about it so much. There's the, I believe it's called the boss toss, the throw that goes full screen. It's pretty dangerous. And I seem to recall doing pretty well against Ferra on hard, so it can't be that difficult, but it does look like we're probably going to lose this round. Yeah, you got me. Oh, this one's pretty funny. If you land a 2-hit combo, he just throws you up into space, and then you land on your head and it disappears. So, pretty fun one. I like that brutality.
Round 1, fight.
And Ferra has one of the best fatalities in the game, so maybe he'll show that off relatively soon here. You can see the very elaborate juggle combos here, and that was all meterless. It still wasn't that significant amount of damage, but I'm sure you could get more out of that setup that he was doing. Right now I have to simultaneously try to get to rank 5 in Hearthstone and get to beta test Grandmaster in Street Fighter 5, and they're pretty much both on the same deadline, so that's an interesting challenge. I have to juggle 2 completely different styles of game and play them both reasonably well. But I did find a nice arena buddy today, so that's wonderful. Am I dead? Yes. Is this the good one? No. This one's still pretty good. It's just, it tosses your 2 halves on top of each other, which is pretty funny. But it's not quite as good as the Ferra gets chucked into your belly and he pulls you out and then you're cut in half. That's pretty funny. Or Ferra does. Ferra definitely has some of the best dialogue in the game as well. There's the same combo. So if you see me doing this, or especially instant air fans, there's not really anything Ferra can do about that. And you see most of the things that the comp does are very slow on startup, so you can really beat those out pretty easily. That was an uppercut, by the way. It's just how much reach his uppercut has. And also lots of free space, or like not being safe on block and so on. You got it. And since Ferra's model is so gigantic, pretty much every faction kill especially looks really stupid on him, especially the Special Forces faction kill where you shoot off all the limbs. His arms just despawn into nothingness. It's not like they explode. They're so huge, there's no image that would portray them disappearing, so they pretty much just cease to exist, which is really funny. One of my favorites. So, Certainly a fun character to do fatalities and so on with, just to see how stupid it looks. Thought I was gonna drop that, but apparently not. Had the kill, but he broke. Gonna wake up armor here, step in the corner, and now I just have to chip. Yep. So we're not doing too bad here. Plus, got to see a nice fatality and a really nice brutality, so all is well. I'll do 2 or 3 more, I think. We'll see. Oh. I believe the charge is armored, so that's where my interactable usage was just completely blown up there. As always, I'm plus unblock after that string, so I'm immediately going into the next combo, and usually the combo will do something. And other players will almost always do something. Same concept is true in Street Fighter, by the way. You do something that looks unsafe but isn't, then you just blow up whatever they do to follow it up, and it's super easy to destroy people that way.
Kitana wins.
And almost nothing is unsafe in Street Fighter 5, as far as I can tell. Like, maybe 1/5 of all the moves in the game, 1/6, very, very small amount. So there's not a ton of defensive play going on. I think defensive play is viable, you just have to be really good to pull it off. And most people aren't very good, so it's relatively obvious as to why that doesn't happen. Not to say I am good at Street Fighter, I am fairly poor, I guess. I'm getting better, but I've only played it like 20 hours of my entire life online against other players. I've played various editions of the series against the computer, but not too much against other players. I'll do one more. One more.
Kitana wins.
Hopefully this didn't go 15. You can see Ferra there on the ground clipping through Kitana's leg. Those production values so high. I'm not sure why that worked, but that's usually just something I start the round with to get a block string off. But I guess Ferra Torr really likes doing those super slow startup moves to beat out with my relatively slow startup move, or combo. Oh. Got him. And dropped it. Should be good. Okay. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. Episode, whatever. This character. I'll see you tomorrow. Have fun.